Black Male Advice TV. I'm your host, Ringo. Make sure you click the like button, subscribe, and support the content.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Black Male Advice TV. I'm your host, Ringo, and we are back again with another exclusive video. Today's topic, what we're going to deal with, is the subject of, are black men trying to build families or get WAP? Are black men trying to build families or get WAP? That's what we're going to talk about today. Within the community, we have a lot of black men that are making a lot of complaints. You see it all over social media. You see it on YouTube, Facebook. All of these brothers are going in. They're talking about our women, our single mothers. They're saying they got a high body count. Brothers are saying marry before you carry. Everybody seems to be talking about this. You got a lot of guys all over social media. They're giving black men advice in terms of, don't get married. Just be single. You got dating coaches telling brothers to go out there and pump and dump. You got content creators leading our brothers astray. So it seems to be a lot of talk going on. And we don't really hear black men focusing on developing relationships and long-term success with our women. It seems as if though they're quick to point out all of the negative behavior of women. They call them thoughts. They call them all sorts of names. And, in most instances, a lot of the information may be true in terms of the dysfunction that's going on within the community. But what I find that's a problem, or that's really problematic, is that a lot of black men within these social spaces, they're not really focused on building families. So it's like, what exactly are you brothers focused on doing in today's culture? Like, is it about getting WAP or is it about building families? Because if we're going to judge women, if we're going to say that these women are no good, they're just out here being, loose and promiscuous, then who are we to judge if we're just out here trying to get some WAP? Like, what really is what is the benefit of us trying to teach women or even make content if we are pretty much doing the same exact thing they're doing? It's just like when most of you look at Mr. Suits' video, Mr. Suits, he's always talking about women, and a lot of you believe that he's really helping the community. I really believe that he is, helping women, when the truth of the matter is, if you really dig deeper and really understand the message of Mr. Suits, it's a contradiction to the whole point. Because when you have a 3-date rule that says after 3 dates, a woman is supposed to pretty much give you the skins, that contradicts the whole idea of helping women to become wives. It totally contradicts the whole point of women finding a good man, because you're not going to be able to find a man just after 3 dates. You have to really get to know someone. So black men really have to examine exactly what they're doing in terms of relationships today. Like, do you brothers really want a relationship with a woman? Or are you just trying to manipulate her to get in her pants? I find that most brothers today are literally just trying to manipulate women to get in their pants. And if that's your goal as a black man, who are you to judge our women when it comes to morals? Who are you to say that a woman is a thought? Who are you to criticize a woman who is sleeping around when that's all you want to do too? It's like you're not trying to settle down with a sister. You're not trying to build any family. You're not trying to have no children. I mean, I'm watching videos on YouTube and you got black men saying they don't want no children. I don't want no children. And I'm sitting there like, okay, you don't want no children, but you want this woman. Like, which one is it? Because if you don't want no children, what's the point of being in a relationship with this woman? That means that the only purpose you want her for at the moment is sexual. So if you just want this sister for a sexual purpose, then you can't even judge a woman from being promiscuous, because pretty much you're out here pumping and dumping our women. And as brothers, if this is what we're going to focus on, if this is how we're going to be, then we really can't judge our women. So the question today is, are you brothers really trying to build a relationship with our women, or are you just after some WAP? What exactly is your goal as black men? I mean, if the goal is just to get WAP, then I think that a lot of you brothers need to be upfront, especially on your channels, that the only goal you have with women is just to score. Now, if that's your goal, you're contributing to the same problems you're trying to help women get out of. Because I know personally that a lot of these content creators on YouTube, they don't really care about our women. They really don't. It's just a hustle. At the end of the day, it's a hustle. It makes money. And it is what it is. You know, if people are dumb enough to follow a gimmick, then you just got to let them follow it. My purpose on my channel is to give you a balanced approach to life issues so that you could really look at the situation and be like, you know what? This brother makes a lot of sense. Maybe I should tune in a little more and see exactly what he's saying. Because when you really think about it, a lot of people on YouTube, they're saying that all these content creators are needed in the community and that they're helping black women. But the truth is, you're not helping black women if you're not teaching the men to conduct themselves in a manner where they're not using our women and discarding them. You can't help our sisters till you help these brothers. You can't tell sisters to keep their legs closed and to marry before you carry and, you know, make good decisions when you're not making content that address men on how they are to approach and deal with women. See, I find that a lot of you brothers on social media, you're all hypocrites at the end of the day because you really don't care about our women. The only thing you care about is getting a sister in bed, get some WAP, and then once you get what you need, you're out the door. And the sister is left there to fend for herself. And it's unfortunate that so many of our women, they're being, you know, mentally abused, verbally abused, emotionally abused, psychologically abused by black men. And no one wants to talk about it because as men, we feel that our purpose here is just to pump, dump, smash, dash, get as much tail as we need, and then we out. And that's wrong. Because we can't be here judging these women and condemning them, and at the same time, we're not holding black men accountable for their actions. I mean, if we're going to talk about women issues, we're going to talk about women out there being promiscuous and doing things they have no business doing, then why don't we open the conversation for black men to take accountability for themselves? I mean, how many black men that are viewing me right now are in search of a quality woman to build a relationship with? How many black men in the chat or in the comments or who are viewing, how many of you brothers are really interested in getting to know a sister on some real ish, like you really serious about building? Or are you just one of those guys who just want to get with a sister, you know, manipulate her, run some game, and hopefully get her in bed and have your way, but you really don't want no relationship with her? See, that's unfortunate, but that's where a lot of black men are today. They really don't want to build and have long-term success. They just want to get a sister in bed, have fun with her for the moment, and then once the fun and the excitement dies out, that's it. It's pretty much, it's a wrap from there. And it's sad because a lot of our women, they want to do right. Don't get me wrong. Some sisters, they just out there wilding out. But there are a lot of women that want to do right. And when they try to do right, a lot of times you brothers, you're not trying to do right. So it's a two-way street. We have black women out here that are doing dirty, and we have black men out here doing dirty. So if we're going to make content or talk about any sort of issues, we have to learn what it means to balance out the playing field. When I make content, I try to teach brothers to do the right thing, I also try to teach sisters to do the right thing. And it's my goal that somehow, some way, my words will get through to people to realize that we have a serious problem in today's day. And a lot of times everybody's just playing. Y'all not realizing y'all all getting older. Like, y'all not getting younger. And things are they're never gonna change until both parties change. We can't tell the women they need to make better choices in men when the men are not being taught how to treat women. I mean, when you really think about this, how many of you brothers really know how to treat a woman? How many? Not much. Most of you don't even know how to talk to a woman. You don't even know how to act around a woman. You have to be masculine around a woman. You have to be stern and you have to speak your mind. You can't be afraid to speak your mind when you're around a woman. But at the same time, how many of you brothers really want to love a woman? How many of you really want to care about a woman? How many of you want to provide for a woman? Not many. But you don't have no problem getting in between her legs. You don't have no problem getting some WAP. But see, that's the problem. You want WAP, but then you're criticizing women on social media. You want WAP, but you'll tell a woman she got a high body count. But yet you are out here trying to get women to increase their body count. Think about that. You'll judge women for their high body count, but yet you are out there contributing to the problem. Let that make sense. Do you see the math? It don't make no sense. We can't be doing this as men. We have to realize that family is of the utmost importance. We're getting older, which means we got to build. We can't go on through life and not build a family. We have to recognize that as men, we have to leave a legacy. We have to have children. We have to have structure. We have to have order. We have to make money. We have to establish ourselves as men. And a lot of times, we're not doing that. We're not doing that because we're playing games. We're playing games with social media because we're following after other men who are talking about the same things. Rather than us leading ourselves, we're allowing other men that are doing wrong to lead us astray. Always judge the tree by the fruit. Anybody that you hear talking about women, relationships, or anything, the first thing you need to ask yourself is, where is their relationship? Do they have a relationship? Don't ever listen to anyone talk to you about relationship success when they got no relationship. Don't ever listen to anyone talk to you about marriage success when they have no wife or they have no mate. You ladies should not listen to any woman telling you about relationship issues when their relationship sucks or when they don't even have a man. It don't even make no sense that you do that, because if a woman have no man, she can't teach you about love, acceptance, happiness. She can't teach you about anything. She can only teach you based on what she heard from somebody else. In order for anybody to teach you about love, companionship, they have to actually have a relationship where they experience these things. That way they're able to impart that information into you. So again, brothers, are you really looking for a woman to be in a long-term relationship, or are you just here to get some WAP? Because if you're here to just get some WAP, brother, I'm here to tell you, you're dysfunctional, you're a part of the problem, and you have no right to judge women under those circumstances. I think that all you brothers need to repent, because as men, we're supposed to be leaders. We're supposed to be leading our women, and our women are not going to respect us when we don't respect ourselves as men. And there's nothing wrong with desiring beautiful women. There's nothing wrong with desiring some WAP. But at the end of the day, as brothers, we have to look at our priorities and realize what we're doing. If we're out here trying to pump and dump, we're no different than the thought. If we're out here trying to smash and dash, we're no different than the promiscuous woman out here that we're trying to save. We can't talk or judge women for their dysfunctions when we as men have the very same dysfunctions. If you're the type of brother who don't want to build no family, how could you criticize women that are not doing that? How can you judge anybody? It makes no sense. We have to really judge ourselves and recognize that in 2021, we have to do better. Because when you look all over social media, the number one topic is about relationships. It's about relationships for a reason, because most of us don't have love. Most of us don't have those type of relationships that are successful. We're all in search of the same thing. And it seems like we can't find it because there's a gender war, there's a struggle, and men are trying to compete with women and women trying to compete with men, and nobody want to admit that they're wrong. And it seems like no one wants to take the correction. Everybody believes they're right. And if we continue going down this road, we're not going to be successful when it comes to relationships. There's going to be a lot of old people in chat rooms talking about a bunch of nonsense, and it's just a sad situation, man. So we really got to get right. You brothers out there gonna have to start to judge yourselves and realize that, life is not all about pumping and dumping and smashing and dashing. You got to get to the point where you become a man and you actually take personal responsibility for your actions and realize that our women are supposed to be precious. Even though we have a lot of dysfunction, even though we got a lot of problems within the community, as men, we still have to become the leaders that the Most High instructed us to become and begin to lead our women down the path of righteousness and do what is right. Because see, here's the thing, brothers, we can't expect women to be perfect and just and godly, or even, act a certain way and have a good attitude when we as men are not leading by example. We want to blame the woman, and it's easy to point that finger because, a woman is like a stop sign. A woman is like a street sign, an address, because she have everything on the outside that you can see. When she get pregnant, you can see the stomach. When she have babies, they're attached to her. And it's easy to look at her and call her a single mother and judge her. But the thing is, we forgot that those babies, they have fathers. So it's like we're busy criticizing a woman because of what we can see, but we forgot that there's a father that was intimate with that woman that brought forth those kids. And he don't really get none of that criticism because we're focused all of that negative energy towards that woman. We have to stop looking at the woman and blaming her for everything, because we're doing exactly what Adam did in the garden when it comes to Eve. When Adam took of that fruit that Eve brought, and she didn't bring him an apple. The Bible don't say anything about an apple. The Bible says fruit. So when she brought forth that fruit and Adam partook of it, rather than him taking personal responsibility for his involvement with falling short of the glory of the Most High, instead, when the Most High called him out on his BS, he decided to point the finger at the woman. And to this day, black men in particular are pointing their finger at the black woman, blaming her for every single thing that's going on. And I admit that there's a lot of things that black women are doing. Yes, black women are doing a whole lot of things. But again, brothers, the reason why it's easy for black women to do what they do and why they're not going to change is because we as men, we haven't changed. Again, we could sit here and play the blame game all day, but the Most High is going to always look at us as men. At the end of the day, the Most High is always going to look at the man first. Why? Because he set us to be the head of the woman. So if things are out of order, it's going to start with the head. Listen, the legs can only do what the head is telling it. So if you don't like the results and the condition of your women, and you don't like the way things are, you got to change yourself as a man first. It doesn't mean the whole world is going to be perfect. It don't mean that all the women are going to fall in line. But if each brother make the change of himself within and start to develop his character and become a quality man, all your interactions with women will be on a higher scale, because now you're not doing the same old thing you've been doing before. So if all the brothers are doing right, the women will fall in line. Do you understand me? That's not an excuse to say if y'all don't do what y'all need to do, then the women have no right to fall in line. What I'm suggesting and what I'm saying and what I'm giving in terms of advice is that in order for our women to change and become stronger and be better in terms of moral excellence, then it's going to have to start with us as men. If we're not trying to build families, you can't expect women to focus on family. If we're not focused on taking care of our women and being providers, then don't expect anything out of these women. If we're out here trying to pump and dump, we can't get mad at the thought. We can't get mad at the loose woman, because in order for you to pump and dump and smash and dash, you have to deal with a loose woman. So one hand washes the other. You want your woman to be right, brothers? You're going to have to do right too. So that's all I'm going to say. This is Black Male Advice TV, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth, 100% raw and uncut. And that's how we going to do it. And that's what we going to say. I'm out, y'all. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $RingoTV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/RingoTVRaw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at RingoTVRaw.
This is Black Male Advice TV, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.